Hello, buongiorno. So, did you watch the show last night? Yes. Did you enjoy it?
Yes.
Yes. So, what happened?
I wanted to see you more. More of you.
Okay.
More skating.
So beautiful.
You are a perfect to listen.
Sorry?
You are a perfect to listen.
I am a perfect Ulisse. Okay. I actually enjoy my both appearance in Ulisse. Yes. Yesterday I was a bit careful in Casta Diva. But then in the second half, I could let go a bit better. Hi, Marie. Yeah, it's fun though. It's both numbers are good. They are very different, and in Casta Diva, it's really much self-control. All the steps are actually very deep edges that I have to hold. So it's really about precision. And in the second one, it's quicker. It's more light. So I just have to enjoy it. It's very different feeling to skate those two numbers. And then with the hot shivers, we have a very good communication and good contact. So, and since we have a good experience from 2 years ago with Chandelier, it was really good to get together again and to have something to do together. It's very different. The feeling is very different because I get trapped in the Le Sirene, and in Chandelier it was really like chasing them, and there it's really I get trapped and I. So it's good. I really like to skate with them.
Someone choose this character for you,
They chose the character for me, Ulisse and Narciso. Yes.
And the third hero with sirens.
Sorry?
The hero with sirens, who was you?
It's Ulisse.
Ulisse?
Yes. Actually, I don't know exactly, but I'm still in the Ulisse character. Yeah, but maybe the story is...
The story is
I just know I get trapped with those sirene. It's very funny. We have a little trick because after I come out of the spin, they're in a circle and they are shaping in a wheel. And I just finished my spin. So during the circle, I'm spinning. And when I finish my spin, they are forming the tunnel. And to know which side I have to face the tunnel, we decided that the girl on my right side, so I should face this way, and the girl on the right side, she has to call my name. So if I'm facing wrong, I will hear her say, Stéphane, and I'm like... So that's how yesterday she went. So I finished the spin, and then as soon as I was finished, I was like, okay, which side? Stéphane! So yeah, we have little tricks, and we had to rehearse that kind of thing because at the beginning they were all screaming, but then I'm like, okay, you scream all, like which side I have to face. So then I decided, okay, there is one girl who will scream, is the one that has to be on my right hand side. That's it. The other ones you. So then it worked, and it's fine, it's good. Then I have to come out of the tunnel, and I kind of have to pull them to get out, but I'm always scared to pull them because I want them to keep the shape of the tunnel. So it's small things that I'm not usually doing because I'm by myself, and there have all those girls, and I can collaborate with them. It's good. It's good.
What other tricks do you have?
Other tricks like that, funny inside tricks. Well, the other trick, it's just a thing that we have to also adjust, is that for Narciso I have to enter from this entrance, which is, I don't never remember the numbers, but it's entrance maybe 1, I don't know. And Andrea with the female singer, they also enter from there, and we have kind of the same cues, so it's a little bit confusing, but I have to walk on the plastic ice, and I don't want to walk without the guards, so there is a technician walking with me on this plastic ice, and then I give my guards to her. And yeah, we said it's fine because it's in the blackout, but everybody can see, so it's okay. Then they were a bit early with the lights yesterday, but it's fine. It's small details that. Yeah, they turn on the light and the music was not on, so it's just like the light is on me, but there is no music. So it feels so long, like when you're there and you don't have the music but you have the light, it feels like it's 10 minutes long, but it's actually just 2 seconds and then the music starts, but those 2 seconds are... And then at the end they were too early with the lights. They turned off the lights and they were too... Yeah, they closed the lights and I actually have to... When I see my face, I'm actually drowning in the ice, and I see my face over there, and I look at my face, and actually they have to keep the light on until I completely drown. But the lights are down, and then I go down. And it's
The scene in the bed.
oh, I love it. And she's amazing. The first time we rehearsed, it was such a good feeling. We had a really good time, and then she went to the director and she said, "Can we be closer for the kiss?" And I'm like, "Yes, of course we can." So it's good. It's really amazing to.
Zaindin was really funny. Like,
Yes. It took us a little while to understand. Okay, who's going on who, and it's a. I love to skate that number. Actually, it's definitely a number that I love to perform, and because I love to perform, I put a lot of pressure on me, and I hope tonight I can really let go. Yes.
So you do not choose the characters; you are just offered the role.
Yeah, I'm getting the role, and then the choreography. I'm free to. With Salome, we are free to do it, whatever we want. But the character and the story is something that is fixed. Yeah.
It is not problem. The second orchestra is from here, and the chorus is from
Yeah,
another
at the beginning
side.
I thought it's going to be a problem, but I think it works pretty well. And
But for you, from both sides, with time different.
no, it's fine. I mean, there is sometimes a little bit of timing problems, but for the feeling, it's totally fine.
Yes.
I mean, I was watching the video and I hate when I'm not on the accent. I'm like, come on! Why you did one more crossover? And on the moment I just need more speed, so I'm adding the crossover, but because I add the crossover, I'm late and...
So I have a question about another program.
Yes.
I came from New York to see you skate. I've never seen you skate before.
Okay, well, welcome.
And no, of course I can't remember what it's called.
Is it a recent or
Yeah, recent in the
Prince or James Morrison?
no, before that,
James Morrison.
with the really quiet song, the really sad.
Tom Odell?
Yes.
Tom Odell,
So
Sense.
yes, which is so beautiful. So how did you decide to put that fall in the middle of the program?
That's a good question. We wanted to, at the same time, I think I wanted to show power and strength, but at the same time, power and strength is so close to fragility sometimes, and you can be so strong and then suddenly everything breaks. And so we were trying to have a trick that is quite strong, but where everything kind of drop and breaks. So that was the idea of using that momentum of having a lot of power, and from this power just letting go. So yeah.
Because it does that.
Yeah.
It's like the first time you see it, it's just
You feel it's
oh
gonna
my God.
work, and suddenly it all breaks. Yeah.
Wow.
And yeah, that's the program is really about being on that line of holding it, but sometimes it doesn't hold it anymore. You know, it's really about that.
Right, it seems like there's a lot of times where you're almost off balance.
Off balance, exactly.
And does it feel like that to you?
It
or
feels completely like that. Yeah. I mean, it's having control and sometimes just letting go and not controlling everything, but yeah. And it was a very similar feeling with the program The Water. It was also always on the edge and having the control and not knowing if it will hold, and that's what I love to work with, is really the edge. Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Thank you.
I have one more philosophical question.
Yes,
So
please.
I have to tell you a very short story, which is that I had never seen you skate before February. You had your whole career. I was raising my son, and he was very
Nice.
high maintenance.
Yes,
I
I
didn't do
understand.
anything but raise my son and go to work. But I started watching skating, and I saw you coaching Dennis, and I was curious who you are. So I started watching you skate, and you touched my heart in a way that made me change my life. I left a job that I'd been very unhappy after a long time, and it has been just incredibly inspiring. I'm so grateful to what you do on the ice. So my question is, here I am, I'm sitting in New Jersey watching you on a little computer screen, and yet somehow there's something that comes from your heart to, I'm sure I'm not the only one, right, to our hearts. And to me it's a magical thing, but I know how it feels on my side. So I'm really curious, like, how you experience that on your side in terms of the connection and what it is that's really happening, and also whether that's something that you teach when you work with your students, and if so, how do you... I'm just curious about that whole thing, because it's been...
I think I had a very generous education. My parents, they are hard workers, and I was lucky to have a mom that was able to raise me like you do with your son. And at one point she had to start working, and she was still doing her best to be present, but at one point you have to do it on your own. I have to be myself. I have to make my life, and I think I got a very good base from my parents, and from that base I was able to push myself, and I am still able to push myself, and I hope I can do it forever. And about the generosities, whatever you do, I think you can always choose to do it, just do it, or push yourself a little bit more. And I understood quite early that when I push myself, I get more energy. And that's what I teach also to my skaters, is don't try to save energy, because the more you save, the more weak you become. The more you give, the more strong you get, and the more strong you get, the more you will be able to give. So it's kind of really being here, you have your base, and where do you want to go? Do you want to improve? Do you want to get stronger? Do you want to see more? Do you want to develop yourself? Or you just want to keep your pace, which is fine with me. But
What is it about that reaches other people? Like, how does it go from you to someone else?
I see the world as a big net where you can connect, and when you give, you connect. Yeah. So for me, I'm just a human being. I do what I love, and I try to connect with the ones that I have around me, and that's what I can do. Yeah.
That's what
Thank you.
That's what artists do.
Yeah, I think so. When I watch, it's for me the same when I watch an artist live or on a video, I'm connecting with that person. And
Who is that kind of inspiration for you?
well, one of the ballet dancer that I met last summer that I was very inspired, and now every time I see that he's performing somewhere, I wish I could be there to watch, is his name is Montagurov, Vadim. And I just appreciate who he is, and yeah, the center is so strong, but then it goes so wide, and it connects.
Have you met him?
Yes, I met him. Yes,
What's his name?
Vadim Muntagirov. He's a young Russian ballet dancer, beautiful. And my colleague Anna and Rob, they got married in May, and they invited for their wedding a beautiful pianist, young artist. His name is Guy Mintus, and he came for the wedding and he was playing and he was just enjoying every single note and putting so much passion in it. And even though I didn't know him before, I could understand what he was saying, what he was playing. It's just like you just take, you know. And I love this generosity. It's, for me, that's what we need.
So could I ask you something? In your life and in your career you did such different things and realized much more of your dreams, your own shows and other ones. Did you have another different thing or dreams that you would like to realize?
I think
It's a different question.
I mean, I still, my dream is to continue to skate because I still love to perform, and I feel my body is in a good place right now. Physically, I can do it. So I want to continue that dream, and next to that, I love to coach and I love to share my knowledge and my experience, and yeah, it's a dream also to keep giving to my students and to bring them what they need to move forward, and to not only to have the best results, but also that they understand how to be a performer, how to be better, how to get better. And yeah, it's a long process. I mean, I'm 32 and I'm in the process, so I think when you're 13, 14, 15, it's just the beginning. It's
different ideas, like
yeah, I mean, you can give so many inputs, and my dream is that I can really give them as much inputs as I can, and that they can receive them.
Very nice.
Can I? I'm so happy you are healthy now.
Yes.
And and I've read that Koshiro wrote in magazine he had to go to treatment his injury.
Yes.
And you said him be courage, be strong.
Yes,
And then he thought, oh my God, what is happened with me? And it was 2 times treatment. It's painful. And you had that
same.
Dennis too.
Venice also.
And what is that?
It's actually so we had, the 3 of us, we had the same injury, which is a muscle tear in our adductor, and it usually comes with a disbalance in our pelvic, and that causes overwork from the adductor. So at one point it just breaks. So we have to fix this part. We have to fix the muscle, and we have to reconnect the muscle. Like I cannot, like the tear has to heal. And then if you don't want to overwork that muscle again, you have to make such a long, and I'm still doing it, work to be able to work balanced. So that means you have to do a lot of exercises to take care of your warm-up, kind of relearn how to function, because you were doing something twisted all your life, and that was causing the tear. So then you have to kind of fix the tear, and then you have at the same time to recenter your pelvic. And that's a very long process. The pain fades away slowly, and with the pain fading away, you get stronger, and eventually the strength will become stronger than the pain. But it's a long process, and Koshiro had a very short time until he started the season, so I'm quite happy that he was able to go through that, but we still need to take care and to work on that hip mobility. Yeah.
Thank you.
And about Dennis, it was the same. He had 1 month more to heal, and he was lucky, and Dennis and Koshiro, to have the medical team around them. I had no, we couldn't waste any time, so I just, as soon as I understood that they have the same problem, I just sent them where they treated me, and that was in Canada, yes, and it was very helpful. Yeah, and Dennis, I mean, from the first competition last year until now, he's really getting stronger and stronger, and his body is, touch wood, there's wood.
There's no wood.
Stone.
He's
And even
healthy.
it's metal, so you can
Metal.
touch metal. Yeah. Mountain doesn't have anything.
So sometimes it's sore, and in my case it's also sore, and it was 9 years ago, so I still need Marla with me to heal, and next week she will be with my skaters to help them recover also. So it's important to be present and to have the right treatment at the right moment.
Dennis didn't come here.
No, not this year. He's at home.
So what do you tell him before the competition to make him, to give him the proper mood, to make him, let's say, fight?
Yeah, the fighting mode, but at the same time, I think it's you need to be peaceful. You need to be quick enough to have quick reactions, and at the same time positive, like doubtless. Yeah, so it's hard to teach, huh? It's something, I mean, some probably see mental coaches. I feel that Dennis has a very strong sensitivity, and he has a very good instinct also. So by trusting him, it probably gives him enough confidence. So my role is to control his positive environment and to trust him. And then I have to plan his work also, but that's way before the competition. And on that road we have to build the trust, like I had with Peter. I mean, it's a trust. And even though I was moving from Peter a couple of times to practice with others, the trust with him was always there and was always strong, and because he was trusting me. Yes.
It's so easy to be nervous before a competition. So that's why, well, when you are nervous, it's hard to have those qualities that you mentioned: quick reaction
And peaceful.
peacefulness. And so,
I think you have to accept that stress, and the best way to perform is really to accept the stress and to understand that this stress is making you stronger and is making you perform. Without that stress, you would not be performing at your best. So it's about accepting that. It is my job. This adrenaline is part of my life, and I just have to use it. Yeah, it takes a long time to understand that, and I see in my students, there are some students that you don't need to teach. They already understand. Okay, oh my God, this is good. I feel my legs. They are willing to perform, and there are people that the stress just paralyzes them, and they have to take maybe more time to understand. Okay, it's normal. I know how to do it, and I just have to let go and take this adrenaline with me, and it will work. So, yeah.
so is the key thing to be well prepared?
Of course. I mean, you can. It's like when you give birth, I think. You can never, or to have a kid. I mean, you're never ready for that kind of thing. You're never 100% ready. And for a competition, it's the same thing. You're never 100% ready, and you just have to be the best version of yourself. And yeah.
What can you say about your work with Mikhail Kaleda?
The work was very, very good. I was very impressed with. He is probably one of the quickest reaction guy that I've ever seen. He has so quick switch, and he's as soon as he turns it on, it just it's a very amazing quality. And he's also a very gentle person. I love his personality. I hope he can put everything together because he has so many good qualities, and I really loved to work with him.
So what did you help him with?
I helped him. I did his 2-step sequence of both programs. He changed a bit, but the main core of the step sequence, we did it together. And yeah, we worked in interpretation. I hope that he can develop his Elvis Presley. I know it's difficult to have this kind of cool and I mean, you have to have the spirit of this Elvis Presley to be able to interpret that, and with all the elements that you have to perform nowadays in the program, that's the most important thing to get the points. So you have to compromise, and I'm probably not the best to have some compromises, but I was trying to help him to give in the interpretation. Yeah.
So you now have many students from different countries and from different age. And in case you have to teach someone who is very shy, with less expressive, so how do you try to train these kids for expression?
Expression?
Yeah.
I think you cannot go against someone's personality. So I think with someone that is very young and that has not much experience and not much expression, I start by giving him the basics. I think the center has to be strong. So I probably start with the basics and the center. So when that is kind of settled, then you can develop and go into the details, but the core has to be present. So I probably work on the core. It's an image, of course, but you cannot start with someone by asking him to be funny when inside he doesn't have the core. So core is the main point, first step, and basics, and then step by step you add to this potential.
I like that. Sorry. Please.
Has the experience of the coaching actually changed the way you feel you're skating?
Many things have changed since I'm coaching, and it's been only 3 years that the skating school has opened, and it helped me in many ways. I think it helped me to understand my body, to understand what is skating, and because you have, like you said, you have young skaters, you have older skaters, you have open personalities, you have shy personalities, and for each of them you have to find a key, to find a key, how technically they can improve, how artistically they can express themselves. So I'm asking myself all those questions every day when I teach, and by asking those questions and trying and finding the answers, I learn. Yeah.
Graphics did you do this season for what skaters?
Actually, for my students, I worked on all of them. Salome did, for Dennis, she did the free, I did the short, and then we kind of, sometimes Dennis he was with Salome at the beginning of the week, and he was fixing both programs, and so it's kind of a collaboration, but the starting point was that. For Diana, I did the free and Salome did the short, and then we also collaborated. And for Noemi, Salome did both numbers, and I helped her to fix it. And Noah was also both by Salome.
Koshiro.
And Koshiro, I did his short, and Nikolai did his free, and I fixed a little bit, also some steps. And then I worked with Mikhail on what we just said. I helped Shoma with both of his programs. Did I forget someone? So many things happened. Sorry?
Friends.
Oh, they're good. How long do we have? Okay. Okay, so one more question. Who has the last word?
I wanted to ask you about the Lombardia Trophy.
My impressions about Lombardia? About Dennis? I was very pleased with Dennis' performance. Very happy with both of his programs. I love both of them very much because they show his romantic side in the short program, and it shows also his entertaining spirit in the free. He has a very good musicality. He has a good sense of movement, and every time, sometimes in the morning, we spend the hour just to put music and to work on for example, today the subject is twizzles, and we kind of just let ourselves go with twizzles, and we do all kinds of crazy things, and it's just fun because he has this open mind that is so generous, and on the ice you can see that. So after Lombardia, I was so happy that he enjoys performing those two programs, and he can now really work on performing them better and better through the season. And again, we have to fix the technique and fix the artistic, and then connect them together.
Can you still love the old
Thank you. Thank you. I will try. I don't have much time to practice, but I do my best, and I have my physio with me as much as possible, so my muscle get what they need.
What about Ice Legends?
Right now, the ideas are in my head. It's not planned yet, but the ideas are somewhere in the memory stick. Yes. Thank you so much. It's always a great pleasure. I hope that we will have other meetings somewhere in the world or here. Yes. We can do a picture all together. Yes.